Okay, I have no idea if this is working, but I guess it is. Okay, cool. So this is mainly just a test to see how this works out. Oh my goodness. Let's move this up a bit. Yeah, you can see my mic here. I've always wanted to test a live stream. So hello to the one person who joined. This is actually kind of scary. But I always wanted to test a live stream. And if anyone joins, that is an added bonus. Okay, so today I'm just going to be sketching something in my sketchbook. And I also wanted to make this into, just upload this as a video on my channel. So yeah, let's fill the last page of my sketchbook. Yeah, so this is the last page in the sketchbook. When did I start this? I think I started this. Yeah, so I started this in, it's inside out, it's reverse, isn't it? I started this on 4th of Feb. So it's been nearly a year. And now I'm about to finish it. I mean, technically, yeah, I stuck some packaging in the back just because I didn't know where else to stick it. But yeah, it's pretty much the end, isn't it? Okay, so because I've never done this live stream before, and it's completely unscripted, I don't want to do something super crazy. So I'm just gonna do like a house or something. So what we're gonna do, in fact, I might just, so you can see the screen. Oh, it's like super. This is like so basic. Normally, because the cool thing about making YouTube videos is you can really script it and you can really, you know, kind of control what the viewer is seeing. Whereas with a live stream, it's like super, super basic and like you literally do not look like you know what you're doing, which I don't, by the way. No idea what I'm doing. But it's okay because no one's here, so it's fine. However, if you're watching the replay, if I figure out how to upload it, then you're probably thinking, what the hell is this? Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to Google Maps. And it's going to reveal my location, isn't it? Oh my god, that's scary. In fact, let's do Google Maps London. There we go. So now you don't know my location. I'm not in London, by the way. So yeah. The thing about making YouTube videos is you just filter out all of this nonsense that you normally talk about. Okay, this is a trick that I found from Mini Small, who I really like on YouTube. So I'm just going to zoom in right here. Just zoom in wherever the hell in London. I don't really know London that well, so I'm just going to drop this little guy somewhere around. I want some buildings, so I'm going to go a bit closer to the city. I think this is good. Yeah. Let's see where it comes up. Okay, this looks like a typical town centre. Looks cute. Looks nice. High Street, Watford, standard. All right, sorry, I'm just checking on the live chat. I like this. I like the architecture. I like this, the kind of contrast between the old architecture and the modern architecture, and then you've got nice nature in the background. It's very typically British, isn't it? Bosley is very nice. Yeah, but I'm not feeling super inspired by this, and I can't. Oh, I can go forward. Okay. Maybe I should have figured out what I'm going to draw before I start drawing. Hello to the person who is here. Thank you for joining. I'm not sure who you are, but thanks for deciding to spend a few minutes with me. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find a place to draw. That is what I'm doing on Google Street View. So currently we're in Watford in London. If you have any suggestions for a location to draw, that would be fabulous. In fact, I really want to try somewhere like Brazil, you know, some really random location that I'm not familiar with at all. In fact, let's go to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil, seeing as this is probably the only way that I can get there, at least for now. Sorry, I'm just going to keep going back to this live stream tab. Hello, Husna. Ahsanul Husna. I'm not sure what's your first name. Nice to meet you from Malaysia. It must be really late there now. Oh, this is so exciting. You're my first live stream viewer. What time is it in Malaysia? Must be awfully late. I have a lot of friends in Malaysia. Malaysians are awesome. Yes, it's 1 a.m. Oh my goodness, you should go to sleep. That is crazy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this to, yeah, there we go. So now I can see you and I can see Google Maps and you can see both. That's great. Oh, this is very pretty. This is Brazil. Very nice. You know what? Should we just stick with this? Yeah, just so I don't have to keep searching. Let's just stick with this view. All right, so what I'm using is a 0.05. Can you see that? You cannot see that. You can't see it anyway because it's reversed. That's stupid. So basically this is a 0.05 pen, Uniball pen. So I'm just going to use that and I'm going to just move the camera back down so you can see the sketchbook. Yeah. That's a good view. Yeah. Just enjoying your sketching. Love it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Husna. That is very sweet of you. I hope you are sketching and drawing and, you know, keeping up with your own artwork because that's the point of this channel. Hello, Peter. Very nice to meet you, finally. Well, virtually, I suppose. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to sketch this view of Canada, which unfortunately, not Canada, sorry. I just read Canada, of Brazil, which unfortunately I can't show at the same time as I'm drawing. So you're just going to have to make out the image as I'm drawing it. But it's nice to have you here, Peter. I honestly didn't think anyone would join for the live stream. It's literally just a trial, but thank you for taking some time out. Okay, so let's start. So this is basically a landscape scene, foreground, midground, background, and I'm going to kind of divide it into thirds, divide the page into thirds. So the river, there's a river, so it's going to take up 1/3, and then I suppose the ground plane, it kind of curves upward, and it has this really nice U shape in the sky. So I'm just going to block that out. Thanks for sharing. Love all your videos. Oh, thank you so much, Peter. It's such a delight to see all of your comments on my videos, and it really just gives me a lot of motivation and encouragement to continue these things. So yeah, thank you so much for the support. Honestly, it really means a lot, and it lets me know that I'm doing something relatively useful. Okay, so yeah. By the way, I explained this in the beginning, but no one was here. So this is the last page of my sketchbook, and I'll give you a sneak tour, maybe after I finish the sketch, which I hope shouldn't take too long. I don't want to take too much time to do this. Yeah, but this is the last page in my sketchbook, which is monumentous. And yeah, I just wanted to end it with a nice live stream, I suppose. This microphone that I'm using is kind of in the way of my drawing, so I'm just going to move it away a bit. I hope you can still hear me, and I hope the background noise isn't too much. Living in an apartment does have its downsides, but you know what? Nothing's perfect. And that is very clearly shown in a live stream when you can't edit stuff out. So please excuse all of the shortcomings in this live stream. All right, so basically I'm now drawing the foreground. So there's a lot of rocks and stones. I don't think the drawing is going to be as good as it normally would be because I'm a bit nervous. So I'm just going to do my best. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, if you have anything you'd like me to talk about, please mention it in the comments, in the chat, sorry. Yeah, it would be nice because I don't have anything planned really to talk about. So yeah. Maybe let me know what you're working on, what you'd like to do. I noticed that a lot of my all of my urban sketching videos are very popular. So it feels like that's what people want to know about, which is interesting. It's quite curious why people want to know about that a lot more than anything else. So maybe let me know why you like urban sketching, you know, what's interesting about it to you. Or what kind of content would you like to see me make? Absolutely anything at all. Let's have a discussion. That's, I suppose, what live streams are for, because I never get to interact with you guys live. So yeah. Okay, I'm now kind of blocking out not bigger details, kind of smaller details. So there's like a foreground plane. I realize it's a bit blown out, so apologies for that. Maybe I should use a thicker pen actually, because but I can't reach it. I have a 0.5 pen here as well. I could use that, but it's a bit too thick. So I hope you can see it anyway. It's a shame I can't zoom in because I'm using a webcam, which is it's not great. But I need to figure out how to use my phone or something to live stream. But all in good time, I suppose. So the thing about landscapes, urban sketching landscapes, is it's really difficult because there's so much detail. People do it, but it takes a lot of time actually. So I need to figure out how to convey all of the information that I want to convey whilst keeping within the time, because I don't want to spend all day here. What time is it in Canada, Peter? Which part of Canada are you from? Because I know it's a big, big country. A lot bigger than any country I've lived in. Wow, we're already at 11 minutes. That's crazy. Just figuring urban sketching, currently drawing some number 20. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Perhaps you could elaborate. In the meantime, I'll just update you, maybe, because we've not got any questions or anything. So today was actually, I hosted Digital Art Podcast. Well, I did host. I started it in June of this year, and today was the last episode. I've put it on hiatus for now because it's all getting a bit much. And you can listen to the podcast. It's in the description of any of my videos, if you're interested, of course. If you're not, then don't bother. But yeah, it's kind of bittersweet because I remember how excited I was to start the podcast, and then now I'm like, I kind of want to focus on YouTube now, because it's very hard to grow a podcast. You know, it's not as easy to grow a podcast as it is to grow a YouTube channel, because there's no algorithm really. There's no algorithm to kind of push your podcast. You really have to do it through word of mouth. Okay. 1200 in Ontario. I'm assuming that's noon time. Wow, that's a very big time difference. It's currently 9 p.m. in Dubai. So after work, I have trouble with domes. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's the spherical nature of it. I can't say I've drawn many domes actually, which is kind of interesting considering the landscape that I live in. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe I should do a video on that. I mean, I live in a Muslim country, so obviously we have a lot of mosques, Islamic architecture that has a lot of domes. Yeah, that's a good topic, video topic, perhaps. And this week's video is actually me going outside and live urban sketching. So I'm actually planning to do that more often, to go out in Dubai, because the weather's quite nice now. It's a desert landscape, so we have good weather now, unlike the rest of the world. Well, depends what you consider good weather. But anyway, it's bearable to go outside. It's really nice, cool weather, 10, 15 degrees. So it's good to go outside and just get some sketching done. So I'm planning on doing some videos where I do that. I think it'll be quite interesting. And I noticed there's like a big rise in study with me videos, where it's like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. And when I'm drawing, sometimes I put them on. It's very relaxing. It's just nice to kind of know that you have someone there doing it with you. Okay, now I'm drawing this landscape and I realize this area is kind of in shadow, and it kind of, there's a depth to it. So this area is light. So I'm going to need to capture that somehow, probably through hatching. In fact, I'll try and get my pen. Oops, sorry about that. I should really prepare everything in advance. Thanks for the encouragement, Peter. Yeah, I hope it does turn out great. So this is my selection of pens. I have a lot more than this, but generally I like to work in thinner lines just because I feel like it gives it a more cleaner quality. And I quite like that look of layering lots and lots of tiny lines. I think I definitely was influenced by Luke Adam Hawker. He's an amazing artist. He draws solely in pen, in fine liners. He was also an architect as well. So yeah, I was really influenced by him because I noticed that when I was drawing with thicker pens like 0.1, 0.2, 3, it just didn't look as neat. So yeah, that's why I like drawing with thinner pens. I feel like 0.1 is kind of the max. Yeah, so that's what I'm using now. I'm using a Micron pen, 0.1. It's a Pigma Micron Sakura. Yeah. Okay. So I've kind of blocked in all the major shapes. There's like a stone here. There's actually quite a few stones. And I can't really see it, but I can't quite see it because my laptop's covering it. But there's also like some trees here, some tree trunks. So I'm just going to eyeball it, estimate it, because that's the good thing about landscapes is you can just, you know, make it up kind of. Once you have the generic shapes, then you kind of know where it's going. Right. So I wanted to test live streaming because I want to maybe do it regularly. You know, it might be quite nice because I know, well, a lot of YouTubers I follow, they do regular live streams, art live streams, I mean. And it's quite nice. It's quite nice for that interaction. You know, it's just, and it also creates more content for the channel, which is good because my goal is obviously to eventually get monetized. And for that, you need 4,000 watch hours within the span of 12 months, which I only found out about today. So I thought it was 4,000 watch hours over the entire channel, but it's not. Not that you need to know all these details, but yeah. Husna asks, do you ever felt frustrated with your sketching? Oh my goodness, Husna, all the time. Come on, like all the time. I mean, the interesting thing is with a sketch, when it comes to art in general, any medium that I'm using, from the start till a certain point, let's say about the 50% point, you're going to just hate the drawing. You're just going to be like, this isn't going anywhere. I don't know where it's going. And this is not just the case with beginner artists, it's the case with experienced artists as well. Like people who I learn from, they say the same thing. But then you get to a certain point where you start to see where the drawing's going and you start to see, okay, I'm seeing something in this drawing. I can see where it's going to go forward. And then you start to get into the flow of it. So you just have to keep pushing through until you get to the point of, yeah, I think this is going to go okay now. You know, I think the success of an artist lies within how much patience they have to be able to push through or push past the point of doubt, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel frustrated all the time, every sketch, honestly. But I also have been watching a lot of David Hockney recently, and if you look at his sketchbook, you will see that a lot of his sketches are just, you know, kind of, let's say, amateurish lines. Like they look very childish or like not like a professional artist would have drawn them, or so we think. But, you know, it's David Hockney. You know, he's like the most famous British artist alive right now. And it just kind of showed me that your sketches don't have to look good for them to be correct in a way. I feel like Instagram, I had this realization lately that Instagram has really shown us that, you know, we need to have this aesthetic sketchbook. Everything needs to look perfect. In fact, let me flick through my sketchbook for you. Let's find something. Yeah, I'll show you. Like some of this work, it's just a mess. But you know what? I'm happy with it. You know, not all your sketches need to look good. And then some of the work, it's let's see. Yeah, some of the work it's decent. Like yeah, like this one, it's all right. I'm sorry, it's in reverse. I have no idea how to flip that. Doesn't seem to be a way for me to flip that. I really wish I could. But anyway, you know, like some of like this is a good spread. But then yeah, some of the pages are terrible. Like this one is not so great. In fact, this was actually the spread that I first made my first YouTube video with this year. So it was about how we should celebrate the unaestheticism, you know, unaesthetic stuff, because we're so used to seeing aesthetic stuff, and I'm tired of it, quite frankly. So seeing David Hockney's work was a real refreshing treat for me. So I would advise that you check out his work on YouTube, and that's going to be a future video, I hope, because I'm really, really inspired by him at the moment. So yeah, I'm just procrastinating on my drawing now. Okay, let me get back to the drawing. There's a lot of pressure drawing on a live stream. Okay. And also, I'm trying to figure out a way to do this efficiently. And you know what? The most efficient way to do an urban sketches is to use a brush pen. You should definitely have one of these in your kit because it saves a lot of time. Okay, so let's say this area is in shadow. You know, obviously it's the area that's the most back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this in with lines. Yeah. See how quick that was? Imagine I had to draw all that with 0.05. That would have taken me forever. Absolutely forever. All right, see, that's automatically created hierarchy because this is clearly behind this, right? I hope you can see where I'm pointing to. Okay. In fact, the good thing about limitations is that you learn different ways of making art fast. And I might just make this a more abstract piece of work rather than realistic. So yeah, it may not look exactly like the reference, but that's completely okay. I am not someone who strives for photorealism. Okay, let's just... Yeah. Thank you for sharing your artwork. Agreed, it's not necessary to be aesthetic. The most important thing is the memory that we can feel while drawing. That's what I've learned. Oh my goodness, wasn't I? Yes, definitely. That is, that's exactly what I feel. Every time you look at a sketch, you are automatically transported back to the moment that you were in. And that is, oh my goodness, that's such a beautiful thing. Because photos, I mean, everyone takes photos, but you can take a million photos of the same thing, right? And people do it all the time. These days, in Dubai, the big hot thing is Expo 2020. Maybe you've heard of it. And every time we go, all I'm seeing is the sea of phones, people just holding up their phone and looking at everything through their phone. And I think, I mean, I do it as well, but it's just so funny because we're not really living life. We're not seeing life as it is. And if we sketch the moment as opposed to just recording it with our phone, ironically, we remember it a lot better than if we are just recording it on our phone and then later on down the line we look at it on our phone. It just doesn't bring back the same memories because we've not connected with the place as much. We've just recorded it with our phones. We've not put in the effort to connect with the place. Yeah, I can talk forever and ever. That's why live streams are actually quite good for me. Yeah, I definitely get it from my parents. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have sketchbooks that date back to 2018. That's when I started urban sketching, pretty much. And it's nice, you know, because you don't know how fast time passes. You start growing older, and then time just passes really fast. And so you have all these sketchbooks to look back on, and it's amazing, you know. Perhaps you feel the same way, Peter, if you're still there. Okay, so I'm just filling in with black, what's it called? Brush pen. Yeah, it's just making my job a lot easier. You like the talk I do when drawing? I'm assuming you mean drawing talk as opposed to rambling talk. Or maybe you just mean general talk. I don't know. I like to talk a lot, which is funny because I'm a very quiet person in real life. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm kind of just trying to abstract this actually, just so I can finish this fast. Because this is nearly half an hour. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Can't believe you guys are still here. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to leave this bit because it's in light. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, yeah. Yes, you do talk a lot. It's great. I don't know if that's a compliment, but I'll take it. It's really funny because I really don't talk a lot in real life when there's a lot of people and stuff. It's yeah, but I perform really well, like on a stage or on YouTube. Yeah, I'm a good performer, but in real life, yeah, not so much. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of fill this this in. It's a shame. Like the more I use this, the more it's kind of yeah. You can see the brush strokes aren't very strong, and I can't get up to go get another one, which is a shame. Okay, now I know what to do for next time. Is to keep all my materials ready, so I don't have to get up. Okay, and I'm gonna just leave the negative space in for the tree branch, for the tree. Oh my gosh, can you hear the dog outside? For the tree trunk. So I'm gonna leave that because the leaves are actually darker than the tree trunk. So yeah, I might just make this like a very contrasted value drawing. That would be quite interesting, actually. The main aim for this drawing is to just be confident and have a nice page. It doesn't have to look correct. It doesn't have to be accurate. It's just, that's another thing that I've learned from Hockney is just to be confident with your mark making, and just to, you know, be bold and not be shy and intimidated. Yeah, do you want to look at the reference picture? Sure. Okay, let's see. So that's the reference picture. So it's kind of a basic landscape. You've got a hill covered in sunlight on one side, and then a bank of trees on the other side, and a river with stones in between. Very simple picture. I was going to do architecture. That's what I intended, but then I just thought it's okay. Let's just stick with what we've got. So yeah, I hope that's sufficient. Let's get back to the drawing because I do want to wrap this up. I hope I can. Okay, I'm going to go back with my 0.5. Wait, sorry, I'm getting confused. Oh my goodness, okay. So what are you guys working on lately, Husna and Peter? Okay, now the next trick is to capture the water and the grass. How can I do that in the most effective way? You know what would have been good for that would have been my extra fine brush pen, which is in my bag somewhere. But my challenge is going to be trying to use what's here because I don't want to get up. Okay, so I have this is 0.1. Most of my pens are 0.1 that are in this pencil case. Okay, I have a 0.5 liner. Wow, I realize I have a lot of doubles in this pencil case. Trying to draw what comes, no luck, number 22 now. Do you mean you're on drawing number 22? Because then I think you're on a roll, if that's the case. I do realize I have a blue pencil, which is good because I can color the sky in blue. So I'll just leave that to the side. And I might just take the 0.5 pen and make the trees and the stones a bit thicker so I can get some hierarchy going. And Husna is sketching her mini dream coffee shop. Oh my goodness, that's so cool, Husna. How does that work? Like, I find it really hard to draw from imagination. So are you using reference? Do you have like a real life reference maybe that you're inspired by? You know, how are you doing it? I'd love to know. Because I always find it hard to just come up with stuff from my head. Like, that's what I struggle with, you know. That's why I love urban sketching, because I don't have to think. I just draw what's in front of me, which I think is, in a way, it's almost like lazy, because I have no idea how to draw from imagination. That's something I would love to do. Okay, so you can see I'm darkening up the stones, which is easier for you to actually see as well. Yeah, my line work is kind of messy, which I'm okay with. Okay, I'm just going to indicate some grass by There's some stones in the grass as well, so I'm going to draw that just so we can break up the whiteness a bit, the whiteness of the paper. And so I don't have to keep drawing blades of grass. Just provide some visual interest. I'm so glad this live stream worked though. I thought it would be kind of complicated, but it worked pretty smoothly, which I'm glad about. And we're at 30 minutes. Oh my goodness, time just goes, and I have no idea that it is going. Crazy, right? Time flies when you're having fun. It's extremely true. Especially when I'm just talking, because I love to talk. You know, that's what I like about YouTube is I have a lot of thoughts in my head. And YouTube can just be the place where I let them out, so it's nice. You know, it's just I don't have to listen into anyone else's conversation. I don't have to talk, you know, about stupid stuff. Because, you know, I feel like more often than not in daily conversation, you're not really talking about anything important or relevant. It's kind of hard to get into deep subjects on a daily basis. So, yeah, and that's what I like to talk about. I like to talk about deep stuff, relevant stuff, you know, stuff that actually matters. Yeah, I'm an INFJ, and apparently we don't like talking, like small talk. We hate small talk, basically. That is very true of me. I hate small talk, which is why I'm very quiet in my daily life. I usually prefer Japanese style coffee shop. I search it in Google, and I blend all the ideas together. That's cool. Yeah, I really like that actually. I think that's really cool. I do digital art. Yeah, I can imagine. I like when you were saying that, I was imagining digital art actually. I was actually what I intended to do for this live stream, but I couldn't find a reference in time. Oh, I don't think I have it in the sketchbook actually, but I do have something. Oh, by the way, this is a print by an artist whom I love called Miriam Tilson. She's also on YouTube. She's great. You should check out her work. Her work is really deep and kind of dark. So if you're okay with seeing that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is actually a Japanese building. I think it was like an abandoned cafe. There's this cool Instagram that I follow. Maybe I'll type it in the chat. Maybe you can follow them. They post Japanese buildings on Instagram, and they kind of give like a history in the caption. I actually wrote their Instagram on this paper, so let me just type it for you. So, sorry, you can see my scarf. Sita Ukoto. Oh, I'm not typing. Sita Ukoto. Yeah, so you can search them on Instagram. They have really nice images, and I use them a lot for reference. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, back to this. Oh my goodness, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I might not even do it. Should we just do all of this in 0.5? Maybe. This pen is kind of hard to work with. Also, something I realized is pens of different brands, the pen nib can vary. So both of these are 0.5, but I feel like the mark they make is kind of different. Like this one, this Staedtler pen is a bit chunkier than the Uniball pen. So just a point to note. It's not like a huge difference, but yeah. I mean, this one just feels lighter in your hand, the Uniball pen. And anyway, it's got more ink in it, so I'm just going to use that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to be bold with my brush strokes, you know, just... Thanks for sharing. Yeah, no problem, listener. I'm glad I could help. I love helping. That's why I like starting this YouTube channel, because I really like teaching. It's not even teaching, it's more just sharing what I know, what I'm learning, because I'm still learning. You know, I'm still very beginner, but I just have a few years of experience, that's all. And I think anyone can share and anyone can teach, you know, like a 5-year-old can teach a 4-year-old, right? So why can't you teach someone who's slightly below you knowledge, right? I firmly believe in that principle. You know, you can teach someone who's younger than you or who's slightly less in knowledge than you, and you don't have to feel like an imposter for it, you know? I mean, parents teach their children all the time, right? And sometimes parents don't have that much knowledge, so... Yeah, not a diss at my parents, I'm just saying in general. My parents are great. Just an FYI, just in case they're watching at some point in the future. Though I'd be surprised if they got this far, because they'd probably see the time and they'd be like, well, this is too long, Nor. Way too long. Okay, cool. So we've got somewhere. Actually, there's this tree. Let me see if I can show you. There's this, let's see, this, you can't really see it actually, but it's got this cool tree in the background that's like got a nice shape to it. So I'm going to try and capture it for you in the sketchbook, even though you can't see it in the screen because it's kind of blurred out. So it has a really nice shape, and the negative space of the sky kind of carves it out. How did I come up with the idea for a YouTube channel? You know what, Husna? I've been watching YouTube videos since I was like 12 years old. Okay, I basically grew up on YouTube. And since I was 12, I wanted a YouTube channel. I was like one of the OG generation who wanted to start YouTube channels. Back then, it wasn't like an accepted, respectable profession. This is like what, 2009? Yeah, really early days of YouTube. So but obviously I had no idea what I wanted to do. I mean, I was 12 years old. Like, what do I know? And just for a long time, I've had that dream, but I never started a YouTube channel because I didn't know what to make videos on. And then just slowly through my life experience, I just started building up, my knowledge on creativity and stuff. And eventually it got to the point where I was like, hey, let's just put out a video on this creative thing. Like my first video of this year, I did it on a whim. I never planned it. And that's the best. Like, if you're going to start something, just start it on a whim. Don't think about it, just do it. And those things work out better. And because I'd already posted that one video, it just became easier to post a second video and then a third video. And now I have this momentum and I just don't want to give it up because the YouTube algorithm is brutal. So you have to keep posting. Otherwise, you will just get knocked off the algorithm. So that's how I started. I've always wanted to start, but I didn't have an idea. And then when I eventually had an idea, through my years of life experience of being exposed to creativity and learning creativity in university and outside, I eventually gained enough knowledge to not even gain enough knowledge. I gained enough experience to just start a channel. And I think the great thing about having a YouTube channel is that it encourages me to learn, to keep learning, so that I can keep sharing, which is the great thing. Okay, khalas. I'm just gonna. Sorry, khalas means enough in Arabic. I'm not Arab. I just live in an Arab country. Okay. Anyway, let's start with blue for the sky. Let's just go straight in. Now, there are different ways to color. You can just obviously color like a child, but we're going to be slightly more professional. So I'm just going to color in with lines, which will take a bit more time, but the end result is more worth it, I think. And the sky is deeper at the top than it is at the bottom in color, right? So I'm gonna start from the top, and then the line will fade as it gets to the bottom. So yeah, this is, by the way, this is a Derwent Pro color, pretty good color, I suppose. I got this free in some kind of art pack when I bought something years ago. Okay. Anyway, I hope I answered your question, Husna. If there's any follow-ups, then feel free to ask. There is a cloud in this reference photo, but I'm not gonna do any clouds because there's already a lot of white space in the bottom. So yeah. There's a package that I stuck in at the back, so there's going to be a annoying line. But it's okay. This is a sketchbook, so it doesn't have to look perfect. And it adds character, you know? In fact, even with my limited imagination, I could pretend this is like a planet, you know? It's like Actually, that's a pretty cool idea. Looks like a planet, right? Like, you know, in those sci-fi movies, you see like the outlines of Venus or whatever. Saturn, the one with rings around it. Yeah, not great with science. It's actually quite cool. Oh, and another thing to add to the... Wow, I'm really taking this planet thing forward, huh? It's kind of cool. Another thing to add about the YouTube channel thing, obviously you need a lot of confidence as well to start YouTube, to like put your voice out there and things like that. And for a year, since 2019 till this year, I was doing like public speaking classes and things like that through this program called Toastmasters, which is like a worldwide public speaking organization, non-profit. So I was doing that. So I really got my confidence up through that in terms of public speaking. So I think without that, I wouldn't have been able to start it either, because I wouldn't have had the confidence. I wouldn't have realized that I'm able to speak and, I have this talent. So yeah, I think that's also important to kind of hone not just your skill that you want to showcase, but also your soft skills like public speaking. That's extremely important. Okay, and also because the water is a reflection of the sky, I'm going to do the water in blue, but the strokes are going to be horizontal because water flows horizontally. So and I'm going to kind of leave gaps in between to kind of represent the reflections of the water, just to make it a bit more interesting, really. And yeah, that's good. I don't know what this is. I think it was supposed to be a rock, and I didn't end up drawing it completely. Okay. I think, see, this is why you need to be confident in your brush strokes, because otherwise later down the line you're going to wonder what this half-finished mark was, then have to fill it later on. Where was I? Yeah. Okay, and obviously the underside of the rocks, there's going to be a reflection in the water, so I'm going to make that a bit dark as well. I'm going to add like a... Ooh, see? That added so much more depth. Yeah. It's all about layering when it comes to art. Like, the more layers you have, the better it will look. Same with urban sketching. The more lines you have, the better it looks. Like yesterday, I really figured that out, because yesterday I did a sketch. I'm really proud of this one, actually. So this is a sketch I did yesterday from the kitchen. Look at how many lines there are, right? Like, this took me a while to do, but it just looks so much better because there's so many lines, right? Just looks more interesting. And because otherwise all of these wooden cupboards, I had left them blank initially, but I thought, oh, what the hell, let's just fill them in. And now I'm really proud of it. Like, I've never created a sketch like this before. And now I know what it's like to have a sketch with more lines. It actually adds a lot more detail. So don't be afraid to add more lines. And the good thing about that is, if you make a mistake, you can just cover it up with more lines. Yeah, thank you, Isna. Yeah, so pro tip, add more lines. But this one is kind of simple, just because of time constraints. Maybe later on I'll improve it after the live stream. But just for now, I just wanted to make something. Yeah. And obviously live streaming, when you're making art, it just takes way more time when you're live streaming as well. That is the case with a lot of, or if not all, YouTubers who I've watched. And this needs sharpening. Okay, cool. Just a few more final touches, I think. This is 0.5. No. Oh, I just realized I have a dark Sigma pen. I love this pen. This is a V Pilot Sigma pen. The tip is like quite thick. It's great for like diagramming or making like, yeah, diagramming really, because I used to study architecture, so we did a lot of diagrams. So yeah, oh, just look at these marks. So nice. Sorry, you can't even see properly. Yeah, just really thick, solid strokes. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm just trying to get shadows on, basically. In fact, I might, yeah, let's make some interesting strokes. I really wish I could zoom in a bit more, but yeah, next time I know what to do. Use a different camera. Yeah, this is much better. More of a Van Gogh style of using the brush strokes to indicate movement. And that's also the good thing about urban sketching in plein air or outside, because you can actually feel, you can see the leaves moving and stuff, as opposed to a photograph. You can't see the leaves moving, so that makes a big difference. You don't feel that energy, and you don't convey that energy as much in your sketches. Also, I feel. Anyway, there's just so much energy when you're drawing outside, you know? Just need to take the plunge and do it, which I've been trying to do on my way to work, because there's about 10 minutes when I get off the metro, the subway, and I'm waiting for the bus. So there's about 10 minutes. So I try and sketch, just try and find like a corner where no one's really going to bother me, or stare at me, should I say. Not that people stare very much in Dubai, but, you know, still, you feel very self-conscious, right? But yeah, I don't really know what this is going. But contrast, basically, you can see now that I've made this background very black. The rocks stand out, or the rock shapes, should I say, stand out a lot more. I'm just going to add some lines, some variety before we wrap up, because I really need to wrap up, and you really need to sleep, Husna. My goodness, I don't think I can stay awake past midnight at this point. I'm not even that old, and I can't do it anymore. I remember once in university, I stayed up till 5 a.m. watching a K-drama, and then I went to uni at 7 a.m. for a lecture. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I can never do that now. It's crazy. I was 18 then. I'm 23 now. I'm not that old, but 5 years have passed and I already feel ancient. This was way before K-dramas were popular. Such great memories back then. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously. University was fun times. Absolutely fun times. But I wouldn't go back, actually. It was good memories, but I think the hallmark of success of living is if you're happy where you are now, in the sense that you wouldn't go back to another time, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you were happy with how it went, but you wouldn't go back. Does that make sense? Like, I'm happy with university, but yeah, I wouldn't go back now. I like my life the way it is now. I mean, there's problems, but yeah, it's progressing. That's what it is. As long as you're progressing, that's the important thing. Never stop progressing. I'm getting way too into the sketch now. I'm gonna wrap this up here at some point. Yeah, next time I'm gonna plan what I'm doing and probably what I'm talking about as well. So that, I mean, I kind of like the spontaneity as well. It's not like I run out of things to talk about. Yeah, but I like where this is. I think this is a comfortable place to stop. But yeah, this is the final sketch. So maybe I'll try and hold it up against the reference. Yeah, this is my version of the sketch. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram or something. You can follow me at Noor Majid. I have 2 accounts, which is kind of annoying. I need to figure out what I'm doing with that. But I'll post it on this Instagram, so you can see the reference photo as well as the drawing itself in better lighting. But that's just my version of it. I'm actually quite happy with it. See, limitations actually do benefit you a lot. And yeah, you can also see how your work doesn't have to look the same as the reference photo. Personally, I'm not a big fan of photorealism, so yeah, I like finding ways to render things in a different way, in a different perspective. I did a dream house plan for an assignment. We did sketch from 12 p.m. until the next day 12. Oh my goodness, that's wow. I mean, if you're still in university, then yeah, you have the stamina for that. Once you become an adult, once you graduate, yeah, don't do that. You can only do that in your student days. Okay, but thank you so much, everyone, for attending. It was quite fun. I didn't expect anyone to show up, so thank you so much for showing up and having a great conversation with me. And I hope you benefited from this drawing. And I hope to also do more live streams in the future, a bit more organized and better camera quality. But with that, I will see you on Saturday for the live sketching video with me, and then maybe next week for another live stream. All right, take care, everyone, and have a good evening or day. Bye. Thank you, Husna. Thank you, Peter. Yes, hopefully more. All right, see you guys.